day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Visionary Corner. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. May you please continue to support and viewing our videos, and may you please leave your comments below. Today I have a special guest whom I consider as a mentor and a brother, Stephen Mkansi. Good days.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm also good, thank you.
I'm fine. Who's Stephen Mkansi?
Okay. Stephen Mkansi. Wow. What a question. Okay. Stephen Mkansi is a guy who stays at Shawela. He's 27 years of age, and he's also a owner of Simple Audiovisual and Motivating Day with Stephen Mkansi.
Yes, sir.
I think basically that's me.
Okay, can I have a quick background about your education?
Okay, my education, I attended school at Vuwani Secondary School.
Yeah.
And then after Vuwani Secondary School, I went to enroll with theology.
Oh, yeah.
So I did theology, and then after theology, I went to do entrepreneurship classes.
Yeah.
And then after entrepreneurship classes, I also did a little bit of computer so that I can be able to know how to use a computer, because as you know, if you're an entrepreneur, you must know how to type. So that's what I did basically.
Okay, I see. Okay, I've seen some of your bio. You're an entrepreneur, sound engineer, motivator, teacher, a leader, and a speaker.
Yes.
Okay, so how did your journey of being an entrepreneur begin?
Okay, this is a question that people ask, and I think it's a nice question. I remember when I was still in Vuwani, I went to the principal and I said to him, I want to sell sweets. So it was Mr. Baloyi at that time. So he never agreed for me to sell sweets because I was in grade 12. And then after doing grade 12, I went to open a little bit of a spaza shop. And then it failed. And then after opening a spaza shop, I worked at Midrand. So as I was working at Midrand, at Patco buses, I was using a Patco bus. So I decided, you know what, let me just sell scones. Because when Patco buses are the buses that arrive very, very early. So I sold scones. From scones, I was also selling ties. And then from selling ties, I was also selling computers. So that's when I saw, well, you know what, this thing of being an entrepreneur, it's something that it's in me. It's something that I'm good at. Because when it comes to convincing someone to buy something, I'm great at that. I can be a great salesman. So I decided, you know what is it that I like? What is it that I'm good at? So I love the sound. So I decided to save money. And after saving money, I decided to open a company that deals with sound, which is called Simple Audiovisual. And then I decided, you know what, after matric, there was a point where I went to different universities, to different colleges, to different high schools around Soweto. Then I said to them, you know what, I'm good at talking. If you need a motivator, I'm here. That's when they said, oh wow, that's a good idea. Come and be a motivator. Then I motivated a few schools, a few universities, and a few colleges. And then people liked what I was doing and what I was saying. So I decided, you know what, I'm opening a company that deals with motivation. You understand? And then at that time, I was a leader at a certain institution, and that's when I got my skills on how to be a leader. What is the most important thing? So what is the chapters of the leader? What is the DNA of a leader? And then from there I decided to edit on Motivating Day with Stephen Mkansi. So that's how I started of being an entrepreneur. So it's something that was in me. So I saw it by pieces and pieces. Then I combined this thing and it became one. Then I was like, no, I'm being an entrepreneur. Yes.
So how long did it take you to discover this journey?
Yo. Okay. Wow, what a question.
Because I know maybe there's someone at home who's not sure what they should become. They could be in matric, they could be confused. So that's why I'm asking this question.
One thing I love to say when I'm encouraging youth, you know, I love to say that if you are a young person, make sure that before you reach maybe 25 or when you finish high school, know that what is it that you are good at. And the only thing to find out what is your purpose in life, it's when you do something, you love it. And you can even do it without even getting paid. That thing, it's something that you were born with. That thing, it's your purpose. So it took me like, okay, when it comes to be a motivator, I saw it when I was still in grade 11. Because I remember I made a speech. And my speech, it was about faith. And then after doing that speech, people came to me and they were like, wow, your speech was good. Your speech was excellent. It touched me. That's when I saw, you know what, I'm good at talking. And then each and every time when we had to make a prepared speech, when I was still at one, people would come to me and say, you know, of all these people in our classroom, I'm looking forward to hearing your speech. So that's when I saw, this thing of talking, it's something that I'm good at. So that's when the journey started. So I can say maybe it took me 2 years because, but I'm someone who's very observant. So when someone tells me a certain information, and that person tells me that, and that person tells me that, I take those things together and combine them and ask myself why. Because people cannot come to you and say, I see a leader, unless you're not a leader. So I took those things together. Then I saw, okay, if more than 5 people are telling me that, okay, I can be an entrepreneur. If more than 5 people are saying, okay, I'm a good public speaker, then I can be a good public speaker. So that's one of the things that helped me to realize my purpose while I was still early. So even when I ended grade 12, I knew what is it that I wanted to do.
So did you have any doubts, maybe you're gonna fail along the way, or fear? Because fear can stop you from achieving your goals.
Yeah, fear, it's part of life. It's something that it's always there. But if you don't take a time, or if you don't take that step to move beyond your fear, then you won't know what is in front of your future. Because there are some people, like for example, the time I was still working, there was a lady who wanted to open a company. After 5 years, when I saw her, she still wanted to open a company. But fear is telling her something else. But if you don't take that step and say, you know what, I have to do this, regardless of the challenges that will come, I'm doing it. So one thing I also realized, fear is always there. First time at the job, fear is there. First time at university, fear is there. When you go to from grade 7 to grade 8, secondary school, fear is there. When you're about to start something, fear is there. So, but it's your own responsibility to live beyond fear, or to step and say, you know what, fear, I'm going beyond you. And whatever consequences that are coming, whatever challenges that are coming, you become strong, and then you will see your journey.
True.
Yeah.
And then say, I've heard about your journey, about your school journey, that's how you've repeated certain grades. I've heard you talking about that.
Okay, you know, that one, it's a journey that, it taught me something. There are some of the things that we are facing right now in life. And to you, there might be a problem. To you, there might be things that are contributing in a negative way. So I remember back, I was still in high school, I was not good when it comes to this school things. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I was someone who wanted just to get like scores that will make me to pass to another grade. So before I went to one, I used to stay at Val. So at Val, I was a very bad boy. So that's why they moved me this side.
And you have now changed.
Yeah, now I'm a very focused man. I'm a very focused man. So when I moved in this side, that side we used to talk Sesotho. It was Sotho, 24 hours. It's just Sotho, it's just swap. But everything that we did, we were talking Sesotho. So now I have to move from Val to this side, and I have to change from Sesotho to Strong. So, and now I'm already in grade 10, so I have to start learning Strong. So that's where the problem is. So I had to fail grade 10. and then I also had to fail grade 11, I think, but grade 12 I passed just like that. So it taught me something. What I was going through in high school, that's why I'm able to stand in front of learners and say, no matter what is coming your way, don't give up. So there was a point in my life I told myself, you know what, if I'm failing grade 11 now, I'm quitting this thing. I'm going to find something different. But someone came and told me, go, there's no need for you to quit. Try again. Then I tried again. When I arrived in grade 12, I passed just like that. So now I'm able to stand in front of learners and say, just go to school. Just go to school and push, and somewhere, somehow, a way will open up. Yeah.
Because we live in a society that believes the only way to succeed is school. Would you say that it's true?
Nah, I won't say it's true. Ne? One thing I always encourage youth, I would say, when each one of us were created, there's something different with all of us. And that something that is different, it's your own responsibility to find it out and equip it or groom it and then create success out of it. For example, when we were still in grade 12 or in grade 11, at Lasin, there would be maybe only 5 students who were brilliant. But there's a certain guy, when it comes to the phone, at the hack and stuff, he was good at that. But Munluanga brilliant is not good at that. He has to go to that guy and you know what, and say, so how can you help me with it? So the most important thing, I won't say education is a success, the key of success. No. What's most important is you have to find out what is it that you're good at. What is your talent? Some people call it your talent, or what is your gift. If you look at in the world that we're living in right now, there are a lot of people, for example, Kespanyo Vest only got his matric recently. But when you give that guy a mic, he's good at what he's doing. So I would say, find out what is it that you're good at. And after finding it out, equip it, and then it will take you far. There's a saying that, do you want to meet an important person in your life? And I would say yes. And then it says, use your talent or your gift, and it will take you far. So, in this thing of education, if you are good at education, continue with education. But if you are good at hacking phones, but in a good way, continue with hacking phones. You get my point? So if you are good at being an IT, continue being an IT. If you are good at talking, continue being a public speaker. So each one of us, there's something that we are good at. And the other person is willing to pay for that thing. So that thing, that is what is going to bring success in your life. You get my point?
So what motivated you to become an entrepreneur instead of working for someone else?
Okay. I once worked for a company. That company was dealing with sound. And I was a learner at that company. So I was doing invoices, I was doing quotations, I was also taken on site. So I remember one time I was doing a quotation. So we were supposed to send a technician out to check a certain problem at a certain client's place. For them to send out a client or our technician, it's only 500. So 500 times, let's take maybe one of our clients went to attend 7 service calls. And when you get at that house, at the client's house, you only check something for a little bit, then you connect, then 500. you get my point? And then 500 in your account. And then I was also working at Pick n Pay. At Pick n Pay, I was a cashier. And when I was a cashier, when I go to cash up, I would cash up maybe 10,000
per day.
Yeah, per day. Just one cashier. I'm not talking about just one cashier. And then when it's month end, we'll be talking about 15,000. You get my point? That's the money that they were making per person. You get my point? So I saw, no man, if these people are able to do this, I can also do this.
Yeah.
So that's when I started to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So seeing go, you know what, I have a problem with working for someone else. I can't. Because one thing I know, that person or that person can employ you, and then at the same time you'll be making 10,000 for that person, and then month end that person will be paying you 2,000. You get my point?
Yeah.
So that's where my problem went.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, I can also do this. That's when I started to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But it's also something that I saw that it's within me.
Yeah.
So that's when I started to become an entrepreneur. Yeah.
So what are some of the qualities that an entrepreneur needs?
Okay. Be self-motivated.
Yeah.
Number one, it's be self-motivated. I remember when I was doing my entrepreneurship classes, each one of us were interviewed that why did you start your company, what motivated you to start your company. And then I told the lecturer why I started my company. And then that lecturer said to me, I like the fact that you are self-motivated. So as an entrepreneur, you have to be self-motivated. Ungayika tichomta wena ya consulta ku hey man la kyafula company na yena munhu lo ucakekile angafiti kuyenza ublomela akho nini la angafiti uya ka yena okay man nkombelo nifuna la kyafuna company that person angafiti kuna yena yenza. So mina as an entrepreneur, be self-motivated, do something, and then look so isungukile. Even when they tell you negative things, because each and everything that you do, there's always the positive side and the negative side. So already look so because you are a self-motivated entrepreneur. There's nothing that they can do about it. So be self-motivated and never give up. And be an opportunist. An opportunist, I think you know. Or should I go in?
You can explain for someone who doesn't know.
Okay. Be self-motivated, never give up. The giving up part, this is the one that it's most important. Because most of the people that I know, they give up easily. And some of them, they give up at the point where a certain door was about to open for them. And then Muna decided, you know what, I've been doing this thing for 5 years, but it's not doing anything for me. Then let me give up. And at that time, that's where the company was about to get recognized. And this is so one thing I would say. So the giving up part, it's the very important one, because people give up at the point where a door was about to open, and people give up because they are not making enough money at that time in the company. People give up because of many reasons. So, but the question is, what will happen if you just become strong for a bit longer and see what will happen? A lot of people, or a lot of entrepreneurs, or a lot of businessmen, even people who are still looking for jobs, at the time where they were about to give up, then an opportunity popped out. So I would say don't give up. No matter how bad it is, no matter how hard it is, but don't give up. As long as you know what is it that you are doing. And some of the problem is, people don't write their plans in the paper. You have to write it down. Well, this is what you want to achieve. That thing is in your heart. So make sure that you make it to happen. So, but when you give up, it's another option. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Even when things are so hard, in the way that you can't stand it. But don't give up, because there are a lot of people. One thing that I taught myself, the challenges that I'm going through, they might look very big, but there are some people who are going through bad challenges than what I'm experiencing. So this is one thing that makes me never to give up. So I stay strong and tell myself, you know what, an opportunity will come up. And when that opportunity come up, I'll be ready. You get my point? So as an entrepreneur, never give up. Hey, even when things are so hard, never give up. It's always there as an option, but don't take it. Just look aside and concentrate on your plan and concentrate on your mission, on your vision, and then it will happen. And then another thing is being an opportunist. You know, an opportunist, it's something that you have to have as an entrepreneur. For example, Mina, I also love this DNA of an opportunist. An opportunist, you know what I do? Sometimes when I'm going to the mall, you will find out, okay, there are sales, like the computer state, or maybe it's 1,000, Pentium 5. I would buy those computers, and there's no way that I can take those computers near the internet around Soweto without finding a client for them. And Mina, I bought them 1,000 each. When I sell them 3,000 each. And when I get there, I say to the internet owner, you don't have to pay me the money or give me the money cash. Relax, man. Relax yourself. I just make a contract. Write everything in pen and paper. Make a contract and say, this is your contract. You can pay me 500 per month. And I can even make the money higher. Look, you can give me 4,000. So 500, 500, 500. So for each of those computers, already, each and every month, there's money coming in. And that money is boosting my company. And it's not part of the company's plan. So being an opportunist, you see an opportunity that will give you money. You grab it and then you make money out of it. One, two, six. And then there's another one of being what? Oh, wow. Where are my notes? I feel like I should have came with my notes. Where are my notes? Where are my notes? Where are my notes? Wow.
Or can we skip that?
No, we can skip. Yeah, we can skip.
What keeps you motivated in terms of challenges as an entrepreneur?
Okay. You know, I love to separate these two things. I'm also a spiritual person. When I say spiritual person, I'm someone who has a relationship with God. I can put it like that. So most of the interviews that I go to, they ask me this question. So sometimes when I'm doing the entrepreneurship things, I don't like to mention God too much. But when it comes to this question, I just bend my knee a bit so that I can answer this question. What keeps me motivated is that there's a God who created heaven and earth. And that God loves me. That God has a plan for me. You know, some people believe, I was born from a monkey. That's nonsense. There's no such thing, I was born from a monkey, or I was born, boom, then something happened, Stephen, so gone. No, there's no such thing. Everything that you see here, everything, it has a purpose, and it was created by something. This thing has a purpose, it was created by something. For only one, you created this with whoever you were creating it with. That camera has a purpose. This thing has a purpose, and it was created by someone. So it makes sense to me that there's a God who created me, and that God has a plan for me. So it keeps me motivated. Even when things are down, I know, no man, the plans of God for me, they are beyond this. So it's one So that's what keeps me going. That there's a God, Baba, who loves me, Baba, beyond anything.
So you stay motivated.
You know, one thing, when I say there's a God who loves me, love itself, you know, parents or not, I'm sorry if you don't, but if your mother loves you, they won't do anything to harm you. One who says, I never, I end a shield attack to somebody. So it makes sense to me that the God who loves me has plans for me. So when as time goes on, those plans will happen. Understand? So it's one of the things motivator, booster, every time you smile.
There's a purpose.
There's a God who loves me and there's a purpose for my life. Yeah.
And you mentioned something about writing down your plans. What did you say about the importance of having a vision board?
It's very important to have a vision board, né? And then after paste it somewhere. After pasting it somewhere, as time goes on, you go to that vision board and say, this achieved there, this not yet achieved, but still pending, it will be achieved. So that vision board, it also makes you to stay focused to what you want to achieve. And this is, so that's why you have to have a pen and paper, or you have to have a vision board, and then look it says this and this and this. It also keeps you focused. Okay, these are the things that I want to achieve. These are the things that are still pending. These are the things that I'm nearly there. And this is, so you have to have it. It's important.
So guys, you have this. It's important to write down your plans and look at them every day of your life when you wake up and even before you sleep, ne? Or in the morning. How often do you look at your plans?
I can say anytime. You don't have like to have a schedule. Okay, today I'm going to look at my vision board. You can do it anytime. Anytime when you feel like you wanna look at it, you can do it. Anytime.
So guys, here's the importance of a vision board. And see, I've seen you've hosted a number of seminars for entrepreneurs. What's the reason behind those seminars?
Okay, the reason behind those seminars, I'm an entrepreneur, and the things that I face as an entrepreneur, personally in my life, and also as an entrepreneur, they will encourage youth. I'm someone who's more concentrated on youth. Not old people. I want youth. I want youth because young people, they have so much potential, and some of them don't even realize it. So the reason for me to host youth entrepreneurship seminars is to do networking, number one, and to empower youth with information and to strengthen them. Well, you know what, if you want to open a company, just go ahead and do it. And to bring out different speakers, because I might be facing something different, but when I as a visionary corner, blah blah blah, there's someone who also has the same plan. So Logunutisa on that youth entrepreneurship seminar, then you start talking, you give that person hope or an idea. Okay, that thing. So it's just to empower youth and then to show them, you know what, as long as you are living, there's something in you which is you can release and then it can take you far.
That's true. And there's, you have to stress about the importance of networking, because I think your network determines your net worth. What did you say about that? Networking.
Okay, networking is important. Yeah, it is very important. But sometimes it works and then sometimes it doesn't work. It's a 50-50 thing. Because there are some people, when you can go to them and say, this is what I'm doing, and this is what me and you can combine and do this, and then they won't open doors for you. But some other people, they can open doors for you. So, but networking, it's very important when you do your job, and then after, or whatever services on your company that you are doing, and then you do those services, and then other people are watching. And then when other people are watching, they will do the networking for you. So sometimes you don't have to, hey, I have to do this and do that and do that. You know, one thing I taught myself, anything that I'm doing, I make sure I do it at my best. And then people will do networking for me. When I do that thing at my best, but no man, hey, when it comes to it's perfect. Look, set the deco. Wow, it's beautiful. So your job creates networking for you sometimes, but it's also good now to create it for yourself.
And then one was this: do you think entrepreneurship should be taught in schools?
Yeah, it should. 100%, Baba. It should.
Looking at our current unemployment rate,
yeah, because even now the government itself, it's pushing people to create businesses or to open businesses, because before what we were taught, be educated and then get a job and a nice salary and then utamo. So now things are changing now. This is because the government opened all these opportunities, and then people went for education. Now they can't provide jobs for them. They can't. So that's why it's very important for entrepreneurs to be taught, because now people, when they open companies, job opportunities will be galore. Job opportunities will be more. That's why there's NYDA, there's yes, there's this, there's that, and government is also involved, and government is also encouraging youth. You know what? Open your companies, and if you have a solid business plan, we will give you funding, because now entrepreneur is the thing. It's the thing,
especially for small businesses.
It's the thing. So that's why it should be taught. Mina, I'm someone else. When I have kids, the day I'm gonna have kids, I'm not gonna encourage them to go to school. I'm gonna encourage them to go to school, because the purpose of going to school, you just have to know how to read and write. But after that, business school, so that the world can go like this. So I wanna India's those people are so smart, blind. And this is so my wealth. It goes from me to my children, children, and you're also killing this cycle of poverty. This is so back in the days about this way with education, jobs, and then that's all. That's why so now it's hard for one to come out of the system, getting employed, because they were taught to be employed. Being employed is on a list of income. One this is on a list of remove poverty. And then there's no such. It's there. So you know what I encourage. If you are employed, don't depend on your salary. Every month we email 15,000 find something else to put in your income. And this is I don't discourage for people being employed. If you feel like that's your purpose, then go ahead and do it. I don't have a problem with it. But one thing I taught myself, Mali, you have to play with money. We invest a lot. One of those things will boom. And when your interest come back, we are shaba AMG. This is so you just have to learn how to play with money. We so don't invest it in one place. That's why I mean, if you see in my companies, I don't do one thing. I do different things.
Recently, this thing I developed, I learned that video for people, and I think it's a great opportunity. So the getting operate, this shoot that it live stream, then but post on internet. So I'm pushing or spot that opportunity.
Mina, I'm someone who always I'm observant. I observe things. Now observer. So simple audio visual. It deals with sound and visual. So those two things are together. But the sound part, it's there. That one is what brings in income more. This is, and visual, it's also there. So I decided, you know what, I didn't end the video, but at that time they were not well known. This is, so during this COVID-19, then I saw the demand is too much. That's why I decrease the price in 450 from 1,000 to 450. Imagine another fundis by 5, by 10 per week. Immediately lokum fundis home financial 400. And this is how much is that money? So that's when ni forced. It's not like it wasn't there. It was there. But during COVID-19, That's what you saw the video that I did.
Yeah.
You know what we have a say, and Mina, what I became wise about. PA system. So what I needed from you, you only come with your venue, then we come with the camera queue and the PA system. So as we are talking now, you don't have to worry. Go, okay, am I loud enough? Am I audible now? So you know, forget an PA system, and then we put in a mic as you are doing your job. So it's something that I want to go during COVID-19. I just have to enforce it. It was there, but it was hidden. It was there, but it was hidden. So when it was needed, it was supposed to be brought up. Yeah.
Then they have this two company dealer in
Yeah.
They are motivating.
Okay.
With Stephen
Mkansi. Okay, motivating day with Stephen Mkansi. I'm good at talking. I'm good at talking. You can put me to be an MC and I can do a great job. I'm good at teaching. So motivating day with Stephen Mkansi, it deals with MCing, it deals with leadership training, it deals with entrepreneur, it deals with motivation, and then it deals with what? I think those are the
4 things. What are your future plans?
Oh, my future plans is okay. Let me separate it and bring it to simple audiovisual and bring it to motivating day with Stephen Mkansi. Since this one, it's an entrepreneurship topic. I want to talk about my future plans personally. So I'll be dwelling on these two companies. Okay, when it comes to simple audiovisual, I wanted to service the biggest clients ever. I wanted to make more than $1 million per month, more than 10 million per month. And I also want to have as much as I can young people being employed in my company. I don't want to work with old people. I want to work with young people. Since I'm concentrating on young people, it's to make more money and to employ as much as I can when it comes to young people. And I want this company to become the best company in the sound industry. I want it to become the best company in the sound industry. And when it comes to the motivating day with Stephen Mkansi, I want to stand in front of 1 million people, telling them my story so that it can encourage them. I want it to reach as much as it can. I want it to go everywhere, worldwide. So those are the most of my future plans.
Then which book would you recommend for entrepreneurs?
When it comes to books, I don't usually read like too much books. I do read books, but Mina, when it comes to me personally, it's one of the gifts that I have. Most of the seminars or most of the business talks that I do, I don't go to Vusi Tembekwayo, take his message, and then paste it. I sit down and I evaluate, okay, this is what happened, this is what I went through, and then I create my own book. So I don't have too much books that I read or a specific book where I can recommend people. The only book that I have, it's a leadership book. I forgot the name of the book, but it's a great book. So yeah.
Okay, where can people find you on social media?
Okay, on social media you can go to Facebook. At Facebook I am Stephen Mkansi. And then YouTube Stephen Mkansi. And then Instagram Stephen Mkansi. Where else? I think those are the 4 social media that I have. Those are the ones that I have.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry. So don't forget to like please don't forget to like Stephen Mkansi Facebook, And also don't forget to like Motivating Day with Stephen Mkansi and Simple Audio Visual. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys for watching and sharing and subscribing. May you please continue to support the YouTube channel. Thank you.